see that as gang stalking, and I'm wondering how timed and orchestrated things can be, because it can get really weird. But a flock of crows is really called a murder of crows. Can you believe that? You have a gaggle of geese, and then a flock of birds, and a murder of crows. I'm not sure like how that came to be, but that's what it is. And Ups, of course, had this very bad, strange, engine failure is what they're calling it. I am kind of curious how many airports have a petroleum, whatever you call it, warehouse, whatever, at the end of one of their strips, airplane strips, whatever you call them. Runways, thank you. So that became a question. Is that normal for there to be, I know there's always industrial stuff around airports just because that the land becomes, sort of utilitarian, very, anyway. Here is another train chugging in, almost with more like cattle freight, or at least it can look like that. They have a couple cars, and that's on the other line down here. That line, there's one on the bottom that's used by passenger. We have an above ground one going north, one down by the river on the east side going south. But there goes the engine chugging in over that bridge at the University of Pennsylvania. Almost hearing. I can hear it. I don't know if you can, because it's loud here today. In the air. Some days are louder. Today's already loud. I'm out pretty early. So I think it's at 6:04. Shortly after 5:30, and got dressed, folded up my couch bed thing, and decided to take a shower upon, once I reached home. There was a train crossing over the tracks at a different hour, and that video wound up with an astronomical amount of views. And it was crossing over here. Had a lot of hunter green freight cars on it. The 31st lower levels with the 31st Street. Heavy load up the stairs like a truck trolley. And I'm getting Sebastian Rogers for some reason, so the idea would be that someone has to lug, a heavy, that sounds so morbid. Is that what I do want watch Chris, the mob crew, with his show on YouTube and his analysis of different, conversation points of everyone involved and things that come up later that could be evidence or whatever about the person. It seems like there's a time period, especially when I just watched that time period where a bunch of people went missing or like weird things like Riley Strain. Then I'm forgetting the guy's name. I can picture him, the guy from Texas A&M at the campus way down by Corpus Christi. And that's an odd one. It's technically the mob crew had its work cut out with them, because it seemed like there were stories that seemed extra fascinating for some reason, like they drew a lot of attention. So there was the guy, a young man, farmer-ish, and he wound up dead.